Hello again. We're back with Unit 6, Sports Cheats. This is page 57 in your textbooks. Okay, so after we have read the unit once, we've read the text, we're going to take some closer look to certain vocabulary words and phrases and try to work out the meaning of these mainly underlined words here. And afterwards, we're going to do a comprehension checkup and a little bit of more vocabulary practice, and finish this session with some homework for you to do. Okay, so we're back with the introductory part. As I said, this is page 56 in your books. So let's try to work out the meanings of the expressions and phrases which are underlined. So we start with this one. Some sports people are prepared to go to extraordinary lengths to win. What does it mean to go to extraordinary lengths? The word extraordinary is an adjective and means exceptional, remarkable, unusual. But the phrase to go to extraordinary lengths to do something basically means to do whatever it takes to achieve what you have planned. Okay. The next one underlined here is read the sports pages nowadays, these days, nowadays, and you are bound sooner or later to see them, and so on and so on. You are bound. It means you can't escape that. Okay, it can't be escaped. You're obliged to see the world's performance-enhancing drugs. Okay, this is a phrase which is a citation, and this word here, performance-enhancing drugs, is an adjective. What kind of drugs are we talking about? Performance-enhancing. To enhance means to improve, to make better, to increase. So these drugs are drugs which basically affect your performance. You perform in a certain way, probably better, because you are using drugs which improve your performance. It seems that the world's top athlete and drugs can't stay apart. Athlete, we've had this one. Who is an athlete? Athlete is a sports person who is into any kind of sport, but also it's any person who is it refers to a person who is into athletics and any kind of person who is muscular, is keen on sports, loves working out, and so on and so on. So if top athlete, the phrase, and drugs can't stay apart, this means that these two words cannot be disconnected. They're always joined, okay, to stay apart. So you understand the phrase, to stay apart. Okay. However, be careful with this one. It's not the same as whatever. Drugs are not the weapon of choice for all the sports people who seek to gain an edge over somebody or something. To gain an edge over means to get advantage, certain advantage, to gain an edge, okay, over opponents. Opponent is an enemy contestant. Okay, somebody you're competing against in a competition. Okay, here are the stories of 3 athletes who have resorted to more unusual methods of cheating. Resort as a noun is a place frequent for holidays or recreation, but resort to means also to turn to and adopt something so you can solve a difficult, for example, situation. Resort to unusual method of cheating. Decide to do something unusual. Next one. Okay, the first underlined word here you might not be familiar with is settle in. Settle in means if you settle, you move and buy or rent a house or a flat and stay to live. So if you settle, you basically stay in one place. Okay. At school and university, she excelled at sprinting. We've had also this one, just a reminder. If you excelled at something, you are excellent, which means you're very good at something, okay? Next one, compete. This is a verb, to compete. If you compete, you are a competitor in a competition, okay? And you have a competitive character. So, to compete, competitor, competition, competitive. Competitive is an adjective. Okay, so to participate in competitions. Okay. In recognition of her achievements, she was inducted into the US Track and Field Hall of Fame. Okay, Hall of Fame is, I suppose, familiar to all of us. Okay, so in recognition of her achievements basically means if you recognize, this is a verb, recognize, but recognition is a noun. So recognition is some kind of acceptance or acknowledgement of somebody's achievements, accomplishments, deed, okay, venture. That's a synonym also. So this person was inducted into the US Track and Field Hall of Fame, which means she was introduced. Basically, she had her own place in the Hall of Fame. Okay, and we have crossfire. Crossfire is when you have two opposing gangs shooting at each other. Okay, you have a crossfire. Okay, armed robbery. I'm quite sure you're familiar with these words. Okay, we move on to the marathon runner story. Okay, marathon, the longest race in the Olympic Games. Okay, so let's see the vocabulary, the underlined words. Surprising thing was that when she went up to collect the winner's medal, the race officials noticed. Who are the race officials? Race officials might be people or referees who are employed at competitions to validate the result or to make sure everything is done in a proper way. So race officials are official people who are behind the competition. Okay. She noticed that she was barely sweating. Barely means hardly. She wasn't sweating at all, basically. The organizer of the race immediately became suspicious. Immediately, straight away, became suspicious. Suspicious, feeling that something is illegal or wrong. Okay. For example, you can say, she died under suspicious circumstances. Something is wrong, or you believe something has been done in an illegal way. Okay. Fellow competitors. Who are fellow competitors? Your opponents or people who are competing against you. Okay. Spectators. Spectators are viewers, watchers, visitors. We usually use this one when we are referring to sports competitions. Okay, spectators. Eventually means finally, in the end. Came forward. Okay, admitted. Were frank, honest, or wanted to say the truth, wanted to admit things. So they testified, you know this one. And in this section, it is assumed, to assume, this is a cool word to learn. If you assume, you accept that something is true without a question or proof, without needing any proof. For example, you can say, I assumed that you know each other because you went to the same school. Okay, so you made an assumption, you made some kind of logical conclusion when you assumed. Okay, the skater part, the first one in the first line is stardom. Stardom, okay. Thirst for stardom, maybe this one should have been underlined as well. Or if you're thirsty, you want to drink something, so thirst for stardom. Stardom is quality of being famous, especially if you're a singer or an actor or a celebrity from dealing with popular showbiz. Okay. However, despite these difficulties, in spite of, without taking any notice, like, I still went out despite the rain. Okay. She achieved the goal, but she couldn't hold on to the title. This is an easy one, I suppose. To hold on to the title means to keep doing the same thing, repeat your success, remain in a place of a champion. So her career went to a decline. To go to a decline means to let's say, fail to keep up with good results, or to lose your focus, to stop being successful. You go to a decline. Okay. Kerrigan was hit in the leg and injured by a mysterious assailant. Mysterious assailant is secret attacker, assailant, somebody who attacks a person. So she had to pull out of the competition. If you pull out, you quit. Okay, you drop out of, you say you don't want to do something anymore, so you pull out. Okay, Harding was victorious again. Victorious means triumphant. Okay, you are winning again, so you are victorious. Okay, so this is related, this is an adjective, and victory is a noun. Strip off. Your title is stripped off. It's taken from you, okay? Because people believe you don't deserve it, so it's stripped off. And bans from means you are prohibited from doing something. Okay, you're not allowed to do something anymore. Okay, these were some of the most important words in the text. Let's go through these questions, which are given in your textbook again, page 56, which might help you to understand what the text is basically dealing with, but in detail. If you haven't read the text, or you need to read it again, you can stop the video right now and go back to the text. But if not, we can move on with questions. So read the text carefully, and for questions 1 to 8, choose the answer A, B, C, or D, which you think best fits according to the text. Number 1, according to the writer, why do sports people cheat? They can't perfect their techniques. Okay, be careful. This is a verb. This is not an adjective, perfect. It's to perfect, a verb. B, they don't want to train anymore. It's the only way to gain an advantage over fellow competitors. And D, famous athletes like Ben Johnson have cheated. So, be careful. This is a crucial part of the question. According to the writer, why do sports people cheat? So, the correct answer is C. It's the only way to gain an advantage over fellow competitors. Okay, to gain an edge or to gain an advantage. This is also true. They can't perfect their techniques, but that's not the reason they cheat. Okay, they cheat to be winners, definitely. Number 2, Stella Walsh represented Poland because she felt more Polish than American, couldn't become an American citizen, was very young when she moved to the USA, and didn't like America. Okay, polish and Polish, it's not the same. If you polish something, you make it shine and clean. And if you're Polish, you're a person from Poland. So Stella Walsh represented Poland because she, B, couldn't become an American citizen is the correct answer based on the text. Number 3, how did Stella Walsh die? She died in a fire. She was shot while trying to rob a bank. She was accidentally shot, or she died in her sleep. Okay, so remember the word crossfire. The correct answer is she was accidentally shot, C. Okay, Don't be confused with the words and phrases which are given in the text and are again mentioned here in questions. Rob a bank, something rings a bell. You can probably recall of seeing something similar to rob a bank, there was a robbery, but this is not the answer to this question. How did she die? She was shot. Number 4, why were the race organizers suspicious when Ruiz won the marathon? She didn't seem hot and tired, she was sweating too much, it was such a fast time, or she didn't take the winner's medal. You can eliminate this one because she did proudly take the winner's medal. Nobody was talking. I mean, there was some information about how fast the time was, but it looks like it's something to do with sweating. So she was barely sweating. This means A is correct. She didn't seem hot and tired. She was hardly sweating. Who saw Ruiz during the race? Nobody. Other runners? The race officials? Some spectators towards the end of the race. Fellow competitors, so B is correct. Other runners. Number 6. How many times did Tonya Harding win the US Figure Skating Championship? None. Once. Twice. 3 times. Correct answer is C, twice. Nancy Kerrigan couldn't compete in the 1994 championship because she fell and injured her leg. Someone attacked and injured her. She hurt the leg while practicing. She hit her leg on something. Okay, be careful with this one. You can eliminate D because she didn't hit her leg on something. This is true. She hurt her leg while practicing because she was attacked. She had been attacked previously. But was that the reason she couldn't compete? So you can also eliminate A. She fell and injured her leg. Yes, but someone attacked and injured her is the reason she couldn't compete. So B is the correct one. What happened to Harding? She was convicted along with her husband. She started a criminal investigation. She denied all knowledge of the crime. She was no longer able to take part in amateur skating competitions. Everything seems to be true. B is not true. She didn't start a criminal investigation. Someone else started an investigation on the case. It is true that she denied all knowledge of the crime. I think upon a certain moment, she was convicted along with her husband. Think about this one. Okay. She was no longer able to take part in amateur skating competitions. Definitely, this one is the correct answer because she was banned from amateur skating. And we don't know. It's not true. She wasn't convicted, although she wasn't brought to the court at all. Okay, let's check again some of the words given in vocabulary, page 59 in your books. So the words are athlete, opponent, compete, achievement, recall, assume, stardom, victorious, ban from. You might need a minute or two to try to match these words with their meaning. But if you have already done this one, I'm going to help you with this. So athlete is a competitor or sportsman here. Opponent, enemy contestant. To compete, take part in a competition. Achievement is an accomplishment or success. Okay. Recall means to remember. Assume, expect or anticipate. Stardom, fame and prestige. To be victorious means to be triumphant or winning. And finally, ban somebody from means to prohibit from. Okay. And we move on with exercise 2, page 59 in your books. We're going to go quickly through this one because this is easy. So, which football team do you support, encourage, or yell for? You support a football team. You are a supporter, although you might yell for them or encourage them to play better. You will need to develop, train, learn hard to get a place on the Olympic team. You will need to train hard, okay? Because we don't say develop without an object. Or learn, we also need an object. It's a cool English if you put an object at all as well. There were many spectators, public audience watching the tennis finals. Okay, correct answer is spectators. There were many spectators. Okay, be careful. Okay, verb, plural verb, and nouns. I think that Sam's younger brothers play karate, do karate, or go karate. I think you do karate is the correct one. I hope our team doesn't fail, lose, defeat the match. Lose the match is a collocation. To lose the match. So lose the match is the correct answer. If your team manages to hit, score, enter another goal, they will be national champions. Goal, you score another goal, okay, is the correct answer. They often go jogging, make jogging, do jogging in the streets near their home. You go jogging, okay, and you have a small introduction here to help you learn when to use do, when play, and in which situation to use go. So we use do with karate, martial arts, or let's say some skills. We use play when we talk about sports, team sports done with ball, tennis, basketball, football, and so on. And go when you have ing ending, skiing, jogging, swimming. Okay. Number 8, does Eddie play, make, do rugby? Okay, so use the rule, rugby, you play rugby. You don't make it, you don't do it. Number 9, Roger Federer hit the tennis record in number of titles last year. Okay, you also have a legend here. We say set a record. Okay, if you're a first person to do something. Hold a record for some time and break a record if you are better than somebody else. So Roger Federer broke the tennis record in number of titles. Okay, and the last one, a Russian gymnast holds or is a record in that event. Okay, So Russian gymnast holds a record in that event. Okay, and for those who like to go deeper with do, go, play, you can use this chart for your self-study. And finally, we have a text. So the final exercise for this video is about Muhammad Ali. I suppose everybody knows who Muhammad Ali was. And this is a fill in the gaps exercise, which is one of the most complex types of exercises. It shows how much you really know, how good your English is. So you should do it in your textbook first and play the video for answers afterwards. And I'm going to provide you with the answers right now so you can check whether you've done it correctly. Muhammad Ali, possibly the most famous athlete ever, is certainly one of the most recognizable faces in the world history. Ali, who proclaimed himself the greatest of all time, started fighting under the name of Cassius Clay. When he converted to Islam, he changed his name to Muhammad Ali. Ali became world heavyweight boxing champion at the age of 24 and went on to become the first man to win the heavyweight title 3 times. Both arrogant and charismatic, people either loved him or hated him. His refusal to serve in the United States Army during the Vietnam War, saying that it was against his religious beliefs, made him unpopular with the authorities. He was arrested, stripped of his heavyweight title, and not allowed to box for 3 years, which many feel were his peak years. Ali was once asked on a TV show what he would have done with his life given a choice. He replied that he would not think of anything other than boxing. That is all he had ever wanted or wished for. He couldn't imagine doing anything else. Hope you did it right. And to finish this session, homework for you. Thank you for staying with me. Bye-bye.